Get me that signal. We need more power.
Welcome to the Voice of E. I am your host, Elliott Miller, and with me today is my special guest host, Oog. Today we'll be reviewing Vi from Victory Point Games. The game was recently uncovered frozen in a block of ice at an archaeological dig near the South Pole, along with Oog here. We've thawed him out and brought him along to help out with the review.
Well, thank you, Elliot. I'm happy to help. I'll admit that I like the changes Victory Point Games has made to the game. This cardstock, as you call it, is much easier to work with than what we used back in the day. And the English language provides a much greater challenge than our own simple language did. That only had 3 sounds. I think the design by Alfonso Smith Jr. has really added to the game. Go away! We are reviewing a game! Ah!
Okay, well, Vi is a word game for 2 to 4 players, and the back of the box reads, when scientists found a granite slab at the Malibu archaeological dig with a single ancient alphabet character on it, they were puzzled. Soon they uncovered another slab, and another, and another. Some slabs were identical. Most slabs contained several characters. 54 slabs were found in all. Experts were stumped. Word of this curiosity reached the recreational laboratories at Victory Point Games. Professionals here recognized what the archaeologists had found immediately. A word game. Perhaps they had found the first crossword game ever devised. You now hold what we believe is the word game cave people used to play, which we've come to call Vi. The original rules of this game have been lost to antiquity. This version should be more manageable than the original version of the game. After all, granite is so hard to shuffle. That's from the back of the box. Why don't we take a closer look? Vi is a fairly simple word game. It comes with 54 playing card thickness letter tiles that have different combinations of letters on them. They have this nice chiseled in stone appearance to them. I probably went with a Roman or Greek backstory rather than the cave people one, but hey, it's not my game. There is a nice rule book with a score sheet on the back that you will need to scan and make copies of, or you can print them off the VPG website. A score pad would have been nice, and possibly a mini pencil to help justify getting the big box for what is essentially a deck of cards. But hey, it's a simple game to play. You shuffle up the cards and lay 9 of them face down in a grid. So, do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then each player will flip up one, and the player that has the highest point total, which is basically the number of letters that are on the tile, gets to go first. So let's say this was player 1. Hey, I'm going to flip this one. Okay, this would be a point total of 2. And then the next player goes, I'm flipping this one. That would be a point value of 1. And the third player goes, hey, I'm flipping this one. That's also a point value of 1. But since this guy has a point value of 2, he gets to go first. And then you go clockwise from there. You flip up the rest of the tiles. So you start with this 9x9 grid. And you kind of start with them oriented, to match the back of the card. Because you can only go by what is facing up at the tops of the cards. Some of the cards have like 4 letters on them, so they could be rotated anyway. The only one that counts is the one that's facing up at the current moment. You place the deck of cards on the table, and flip up 3 more next to it. 1, 2, 3. And when you place these down, you can orient them how you want. It's just as long as one of the letters is pointing up. So they went with the F instead of the M. Anyway, the object of the game is to score the most point over a certain number of rounds based on the number of players as shown on the score sheet. So in a 3-player game, there will be 10 rounds. In a 2-player game, there will be 18 rounds. In a 4-player game, there is only 8 rounds. See? On your turn, you attempt to place a tile over another tile and form new words either vertically or horizontally. For each word that you form, you score 1 point per letter that is on each tile that's involved. And as I said, only the letters that are oriented correctly can be used in forming the words. When you place a tile, you can turn it so that the letter or letters that you want are the ones on top. You can only use one of the 3 tiles that are turned up, or you can draw a new tile. 1 new tile. If you can't form any new words, then the other players get a chance to score on your turn if they know a word you might have missed. You replenish the 3 tiles after your turn is over. A word can be challenged by another player, and you'll need a dictionary or a laptop in order to look up the words. There's no proper nouns, no abbreviations or punctuation or non-English words allowed. Basically, if you go look it up in the online Scrabble dictionary, you should be okay. Challengers lose points if they're wrong, and they gain points if they're correct. And the same goes for the player who was challenged. After you score, play passes to the next player. So here's an example turn. All right, I've got A, I, and F there, and these letters, and I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna pick a card. A T. Aha, so I'm going to put a T down here to spell. The only ones that would count now are ones that are either in this row or in this row. So none of the diagonal stuff counts. So I just spelled R-O-T, rot. That would give me 1, 2, 3, 5 points, because there's 4 letters on this tile. There's 1 letter on this tile. Even though you're not using those letters, there's 4 on this tile, 1 on there. That'd be 5 points for me. Now, if acht was a word, and who knows, maybe it is, I don't know, then I could score points for that too. Or ht, or tqua. If tqua was a word, then I could score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points there. But I can't. I can only score rot, because that's the only play that I got. And I would write that on my score sheet, and it would pass to the next player's turn. Since I didn't use any of those up at the top, there's no need to replenish up there. The next player simply draws a card of theirs and attempts to do the same thing. Maybe I should have looked before I drew a card. Let's say oi. I think oi is a word. Maybe somebody could challenge me. Oi. That would give me 1, 2, 3 points. And ya. Is ya a word? Ya. That sounds for ya. I don't know ya. But I would try to score 3 points off that too, and then somebody would challenge me. And I don't know if I'd win or lose because I don't know all the 3-letter words. But people who do would have a big advantage over me. That's why we play games like this, so we can learn those letters. So that's a couple of turns of the game, and that's how you play Vi. This is one of those word games that I'm terrible at. My wife, and everyone else really, constantly beat me in Scramble with friends on my phone. These are the type of people who will enjoy playing Vi. If you like those word type games and you have memorized most of the 3 and 4 letter words in the English dictionary, then you will be a wizard at Vi. It's a good game to play with your spouse after dinner or to whip out for a quick go with another couple. Another good way to play is with your elementary school age kids. It will help them with both spelling and learning new words. These will be the short words, so it won't be too difficult for them. For those homeschoolers out there, this could be quite an enjoyable learning exercise for the young ones. It's one of those games where you don't realize that you're learning while you're playing. There are multiple variations in the back of the rulebook if you master the basic game. This is a good game for those who enjoy wordplay games, especially those addicted to the mobile games. It's a good way to get them to put down the phone and play with some real live people for a change. At a cost of less than $15, it's a great deal. Thanks for joining me and Oog here for this review of Vi from Victory Point Games. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at Elliott_Miller@voiceofe.com.
Oog.
Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube, as I'll have plenty of gaming, entertainment, and comic book coverage this year. It should be a lot of fun. Thanks again, and until next time, keep your mind free.
Get me that 6. We need more power.